Hey, good morning, Grand Rising to you, and also you. I am Stars Tina, and I want to welcome you to the 7 a.m. cup of motivation. If this is your first time here, hold on to your seatbelts because this is a show that's like no other show. We come with the realness, right? We come with the authenticity. And when you come through, there's three things that is my focus every single day. The first one is motivation, inspiration, and transformation. Now, I had to be totally honest with you guys. I'm just curious if I'm the only person who sometimes have has those nights and it's like you just kind of go into this dark place of sadness, of depression, of anger, of just like "Grr," all of those feelings that aren't so nice. Well, that was me last night. You hear me share my story all the time talking about traumedy. And if it's your first time, traumedy is real, my friends, okay? Today's episode's going to be like a little different. It's going to be like a roller coaster ride. So if you're ready for a roller coaster ride, hold on. First of all, when we talk about the word traumedy, just type in the chat. If you're on YouTube, type in there. If you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you are, hello, thank you for coming through. But when you think of that word traumedy, tell me what you think about. Some people say they think of trauma and comedy, like making it funny. And it used to be that definition years ago. But a year and a half ago, I was thinking of my life. And most of the things, not most of the things, a lot of the things that have happened in my life, and I had traumatic things, I had tragedies, I had traumas, and I just could not understand, right? And I decided, you know what? I'm going to stop fighting it. I'm going to stop fighting it, because I don't know if I'm the only person who likes to be in control all the time and just like fighting things. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to let go and let God. And I embraced the trauma. I embraced the tragedy. And that's where I came up with this word traumedy. A traumedy, my friends, is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When this occurs, life changing experiences happen. It happens to everybody. And some people don't like to talk about this. They're like, oh, it's not nice. Well, I'm that person. My coach, Dr. Fred, said, Tina, you make traumedy look good. And this is what traumedy looks like after a night of crying for 45 minutes straight crying, okay? Of not going to sleep at night because you're just so sad. Just scroll this right here. Does it look okay? I think I look okay for having a rough night. But today, like I said, it's going to be a roller coaster. And my biggest traumedy happened. It's going to be almost 9 years in February. And it feels like it just happened yesterday. Am I the only person who had something happen in their life? It could have been a divorce. And I was told that divorce is just like losing a loved one for some people. Divorce can be tough, especially if you've been with that person for years. It's like a part of you is gone. The death of a loved one, right? Broken heart syndrome is real. Maybe losing your job. All of these things are traumatic. And that leads into, the children go through traumatides as well, but we don't really think about it like that. It's like, they're kids, or, at least I can't speak for myself. And today I'm going to share with you what I used to do, what I did last night, and what you can do. It's going to be quick to push you through those traumatides, those horrible, not so good days, so you can have a wonderful day like today. I'm kind of excited. It's not that hot out because usually I'm in Florida. It's usually like super, super hot, but it's not that hot today. Now, in my book, No More Traumedy, and then Renee will put the link at the bottom. This is a book where I share a little bit of my story and how I got through the traumedies of the last 8 years, right? Of my huge traumedy, which was the murder of my son, Jamal Gaines, and his birthday was last Sunday. Wow, maybe that's another reason why I'm like feeling super kind of heavy these days because he would have been 30 years old. And this morning I didn't even want to get out of bed. Normally I'm up at like 4:30, and I didn't go to bed till like 2 or 3. And I said, okay, Tina, you can, you'll be able to do the 6 o'clock class. So I set my alarm for 5:50, and the alarm went off. And I was like, nope, I'm not getting out of bed. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't have to get out of bed, right? Because I have an amazing supporting partner. I have an amazing good friend. It's like, Renee, can you please do class? Because we have online fitness classes. So she did the class, and I'm laying there and I'm just like praying to God. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Tina, this was probably at like 6:30. I'm like, you've got a live with Danielle today. And I was like, okay, you got to get it together. So I say that to say life goes on. That is the name of today's topic. Life goes on and it doesn't wait for anyone. So you got to push through. So the book that I wrote last year, No More Traumedy, shares how I got through the 8 years of my life, and the things that I did. And I tried almost everything, okay, except hard drugs. I never did anything like that. But life goes on, right? And when this first happened to me, I just jumped right back in the saddle. My son was murdered on a Friday night. That following week, I went to work. I taught fitness classes. And if you know anything about fitness instructors, they're go, go, go. And the next day, that Saturday, I was supposed to teach class. And this just shared, and this is why I don't want to say compassion or empathy. This is why I have that like that. No excuses. I don't want to hear your freaking excuses. This is why I have that attitude. That night when this happened, now, mind you, it's 9:15 at night. Um, I find out my son is murdered. I'm talking to my daughter. I'm just like, but I still thought about my Saturday morning class. I was like, okay, Tina, because they depended on me, right? I am that girl. So I'm like, Tina, you have to find a sub, right? So I reached out to this lady. Um, Unfortunately, I can't remember her name, but I told her what happened and she taught my class. And I didn't work for probably a week, and then a week later, I went right back to work because I had to keep going. That's one of the things that I did to push through. Now, I'm not saying all the things I did in the beginning were right because they weren't. I did go to therapy. Therapy is so important, but you have to really be present when you're in the therapy, and you have to want to be there. If I'm being totally honest, I probably only went because people said, you gotta go to therapy, you gotta go to therapy. I was there, but I was just like, but you have to want to be there, you have to want to make a change, you have to want to get better, right? So yoga, meditation. I'm gonna pause because there's a school bus that's about to go by in case you can't hear me. Today is their first day of school here in Florida. Did you guys go back to school yet? I know my people in Arizona went back to school. All right, it's gone. So now I did a lot of positive things to push through that pain. But I have to be totally honest, every Friday night was tough for me because in my mind, I kept reliving that night. Between 9 and 9:10, I got that phone call. It was like a movie I kept playing in my head. And I would put myself down that tunnel of sadness. So don't laugh now, okay? I'm not a drinker. Wine coolers. If you know anything about wine coolers, they taste really good. It's got like X amount, whatever, of alcohol. So I would have a big bag of barbecued Dorito potato chips and a wine cooler. I bought the whole six pack. I probably had one, maybe two, and I was like out on the couch. That was one of the things I did on Friday nights to just kind of push me through the pain. Now let's fast forward to today, 8 years later, last night. As I told you, the first thing I did was I started playing gospel music and I started praying to God. And I'm just listening to this music and I'm listening and I'm listening. And a lot of the gospel songs, they talk about thank you, God, and you're wonderful, God, and Jesus, and all this stuff. And it's like I'm having an internal battle in my head. I'm not mad at God, but I'm mad at God. I'm mad at God, but I'm not mad. I'm just like, psh, psh, just fighting because, I got the devil over here. I'm just like, and I just fell down on my knees and I was praying and crying and crying and praying and praying and crying. And I'm like, okay, this is not working. I like to eat. Now, a tip, don't have bad food in your house because if you have bad food in your house, you're going to eat it. So, really, the only thing I had was cereal. So, I had a bowl of cereal. And it wasn't even Fruity Pebbles, guys. So, hopefully that truck leaves soon. So, I had some cereal. It kind of worked, kind of didn't. So, then I went outside and I looked up at the sky, saw the moon. I could feel the energy, right? So you have to change your state. Oh yeah, and then I started playing music, more music. I played Michael Jackson's They Don't Really Care About Us because they don't care. I was thinking about the police, right? Because I was calling the police the other day, like trying to find out some answers. Did they have any updates? And of course, nothing. But my point is today's conversation is, what did I say, Renee? Put the title up there again. Uh, Letting it go, right? Life goes on and it's going to go on without you guys. So strap up and get ready for it. So right now I have a special guest coming through and God is going to surround you with people that are going to keep you uplifted, with people that are going to keep you motivated. Not yet, Renee. I didn't say not yet, not yet. And uh, when he does this, he does these things to keep you moving forward, right? Your vibe is your tribe. It's so important that you surround yourself with people that are going to keep you uplifted, people that are going to challenge you, right? If you don't have people that are going to challenge you, like, why are they around? Unless you want to stay where you are. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? So today, this young lady right here, Instagram, I love Instagram. First of all, I'm going to put her Instagram on the bottom. Type in your Instagram, Daniela, so Renee can put it on the bottom. And she's in my phone as a savvy lady. I don't know if she still does it, but you know how they have all these multi-level marketing companies, and I love multi-level marketing. And someone's always trying to get buy this, buy that, or and I think I've known her for probably 2 years maybe on Instagram. I think we met once, I think, at an event because I go to a lot of events, and her energy is dynamic. And she reminds me of myself when it comes to that smile and that energy. Because she just, whenever I think of her, like this morning when I thought of her smile, I thought of her energy. And I'm like, yes. And some people think like us motivated, inspirational, transformational people never have those down times. But I'm here to tell you, I just want to come real with you today. It happens. We all go through it. But today I wanted to highlight her because a couple of weeks ago, I had the honor of being on her podcast. She does an amazing job. I want us all to tune in, and we're going to put her podcast right there where it says Life Goes On, Renee. If you can put her podcast right there. Because I've done a lot of podcasts myself. I've been guest on a lot of podcasts, but she did her homework. She was diligent. Everything was just so professional and classy. And I was like, hey, I loved it. And she talks to the mamas. Now you can bring her up, Renee. Make some noise. Give it up. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? How you feeling?
Oh, I feel great. How are you?
I am feeling amazing. I'm better now that I see your face. Do me a favor. Can you take your camera and turn it this way? Is that possible?
I think, yeah.
Okay. Yay! Perfect. So it shows your whole screen better that way. You look beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. Now you can see all my too. My laundry that's hanging.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So I'm so grateful to have you on today. And I don't know if you heard me speaking a little earlier, but it was a rough night for me, but I'm here and I'm feeling good.
Yes. So glad you're here. So glad to be here. I'm so excited.
Yes, yes. So this is the up part of the show, guys. The up part is that roller coaster. So I want you to share with us a little bit about why you did, what your podcast is, why you decided to do it, and all that great stuff, because we need it.
Yes. Okay. So Mama's Redefined Success came from my heart, a God calling, I feel like. He just kept kind of like telling me that I needed to do something, right? I always have wanted to help people. You mentioned Savvy, which I still do Savvy, but I'm wholly focused on Mama's Redefined Success at the moment. And really what inspired it was just my journey. As you know, as a mother, you have lots of ups and downs. It's the theme of this show today, I feel like. And so, really getting myself through that and, figuring out the tools, and God was a big part of it, but as well, I've been in self-development and kind of self-improvement and growth mode ever since I was like in my high school years. I've just always been kind of geeked out by that kind of thing. Conferences, anything I can do to learn and grow, I want to be there. And so I felt like I had all these tools to help these moms who were where I used to be. And I didn't really know what to do with that. And so I started the podcast, and the podcast, we started September 7th of 2023. So it's been almost a year. And,
and you're doing a phenomenal job. Let me tell you, phenomenal job. Very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, it is meant for those moms who are in that tough place, who are in that stressed out or burnt out, or they just feel like there's more for them, but they don't know what that looks like. And they probably almost feel guilty for wanting more for themselves because they're just in it with their kids and maybe feel like they've lost their own identity in the mix. I know I've been all of those places throughout my mom journey.
I love it. I love it. So when you first started the podcast, do I recall you said it was just you in the beginning and now you're starting to put on guests? Is that how you started it?
Yes, yes. So it was just me at the beginning. I had a guest here or there, but now I do a guest once a week. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of a promotion we're doing. And so we're doing guests twice a week for the podcast, and got a lot of exciting guests coming up. Tina, you were just on, and I was so excited. That was such a great episode. I've gotten so much feedback about your episode. It's already helping moms. So thank you for that. And yeah, that's what my heart is, to create this safe space for moms to know that they're not alone. They're not going through these things alone. Because I think that's what we feel like a lot of times when we're going through all of this, is that we're alone. No one else is feeling what we're feeling, and we don't really talk about it. We're embarrassed, or maybe we think we're crazy. I know that's what I thought I was crazy. And so I didn't tell my husband. I didn't tell anyone. I had these people in my life that probably would have supported me, but I kind of stayed to myself, and you just feel so alone in those times. And yeah, so I don't want any other mom to have to go through that. So I want to prevent that. I want to, uplift, give them tools to, if they are in that really deep, dark place, give them just hope and inspiration and tools to get out. And then for those who aren't quite in that dark place yet, to prevent them from getting there, right?
I love it. That was perfect timing because the garbage truck was going by. I'm like, I hope she keeps talking. I hope she keeps talking. So this is what I want you to do. I don't want you to give all the goodies, because I do want them to I don't know if it's subscribe, like, join your podcast, but can you share with the people three things, only three things that you've learned over your time of being a mom, of doing your podcast, of interviewing people, of things that moms that are struggling now. It's the first day of school for some kids. Some kids are already in school, and parents are stressed out. Maybe they're stressed out because they don't have the money for school supplies. Maybe they're stressed out because it's work, their husband. Three things that they can do on a daily basis to support them to be better with everything.
Yeah. So it's hard to do just three, right? Okay. So the first thing that I think is so important is taking some time for yourself. Like you don't have to take, doesn't have to be a lot of time. If you can carve out 10, 15 minutes for yourself, I like to do it in the morning, but really getting still, whether that's reading your Bible or doing a little bit of meditation, maybe journaling, listening to some music, doing something just by yourself, for yourself throughout
What
the
about that
day.
mom that says, I don't have time, I have to cook, I have to clean? There's no, because I'm thinking it back when I was that mom, and it felt like it was never any time. And if it was time, I was so tired, I just kind of passed out. What about the mom that says that to you?
Yeah. Well, I would say, like, there is a way, right? You make time for things, and there is a way. So take, if you have little ones that are in a stroller, take them with you, go for a walk, right? Like, if you can't get any completely alone time, try to get something where you can just, take in the nature, or, go to the park and maybe let them in the swing for a few minutes, and, just push and just behind them, like, in your head, go somewhere else, right?
Visualization. I love that. Like, okay, I'm not pushing this kid. I'm on the beach. I'm in the Bahamas. The sun is on my face. I'm in a bathing suit.
Right.
That's a good one.
You have to figure out a way, and what fuels you, right? Have a dance party with your child. Like, like, put on some music and have a dance party with your child, but just try to create some release for yourself. If you don't have the time, I really, for moms that have little ones, you can't really decide when you wake up, right? Like, half the time they're waking you up. And so you don't necessarily have that luxury. But just, being able to work it in with something else. Let's see. Another thing is,
As she puts together her second tip, guys, I want Renee's going to put on the bottom. If you're just chiming in, this is Danielle. She runs the podcast, Redefining Mamas. Mamas Redefine Success, correct?
yes,
Yes, Renee's going to put the link on the bottom. She's giving us 3 tips of how you can push through those times as a mom. Make sure you chime into her podcast. Go. Number 2 tip. That was to give you some time to think about it.
Oh, thank you. So tip number 2, I would say, is whatever you're feeling lacking in, go give that away. So if you are lacking joy, try to bring joy to someone else, because it winds up coming back to you. If you are, even if you're lacking time, like I say, go give it away. Like find out some place that you can go volunteer, and bring your kids. Like they will let you do that at a lot of places. Ask your church. If you, whatever you're lacking in your life, if you go and give it away, the law of giving and receiving, the law of abundance, like it will come back to you. You can't get more of something when you're in that scarcity mentality. And when you give something away, it just changes your perspective. And I would say that that's definitely my tip number 2. Give it away and it will wind up coming back.
I like that. And I can definitely tell that you've done the work when it comes to personal development because you're even higher than, the law of attraction, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, like all that. I can hear it. I can feel it in you. Do you do any motivational speaking?
I other than the podcast, no, I've spoken for a couple of people on a couple of stages, but no, I don't do that. But I've thought about it. I may at some point.
Well, I don't know if this is true, but this is what I heard that someone's going to invite you to their event to motivate their moms, whether it's a back to school event or something, because what you're saying is just coming so naturally. And that second one, giving it away. And I was thinking about money, right? Because sometimes people have that scarcity, like, oh, I can't give, whether it's giving for church, whether it's helping someone, a homeless person on the street. Like when you give it, it's going to come back. And I'm always, when it comes to money, I just give. I just like, because I figure it's like that, it's going to come back, right? Like that boomerang, boom, boom, boom. I love it. I love tip number 2. Okay, tip number 3.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I don't know if you have more with that.
It's so great when you do give money and even a smile. Like you can give a smile away, and I promise you, like hold your smile with someone, and at first they might think you're kind of crazy, but like as they're walking towards you, you then just say hi, and they're gonna smile back. They might still think you're crazy, but it's totally okay. It's going to change their day. It's gonna.
I have to add something to that before you go on. So I've heard this, read it. 2 things. First of all, this is for couples or people that you kiss or whatever. Like if you kiss someone, there was like when you husbands or wives, you kiss for at least 6 seconds before you leave, and hug for at least 20 seconds because your body releases. Is it oxytocin? Did I say that correctly? Are you familiar with what I'm saying?
Serotonin.
Serotonin. I was close.
Yeah.
Oxytocin is a drug, I think.
I think you're
whatever.
a couple words together.
Yeah. Anyway, when you kiss someone for 6 seconds and hug for 20 seconds, the oxytocin, serotonin, it's going to release from your body, which is the happy drug. And this is what I want to share with you. If I was there with you, I would hug you. Whenever I hug someone, I always go towards my left. So it's my left shoulder to their left shoulder. And I'll say, and people, I notice a lot of people always hug this way. But when you hug left shoulder, I'll say, my heart is touching your heart.
Yes.
That's just something. And then just hold it. And then I heard hold it for like sing the alphabet and just squeeze and see who have you heard anything about hugs? Talk to me about that.
Yes, I have definitely heard about the hugging. And it is true. Like I have tried this even when I have not been in a great place with my husband. And I have just tried to okay, look, we're just gonna hug for a minute. And it does. It really does. Like it will calm you. It will just it instantly kind of, because everything that you've been feeling to that point, like if you were upset with someone, it just kind of starts to melt away when it is, I think, that heart to heart connection, because you love one another, and really we all love one another, right? Like that's the world we want to be in, is we all want to get along, even if it looks like we all don't want to get along a lot of times. We really do. That's what we want. Everybody wants what's best, usually for the world and for their children. And even in our differences, we're all trying to accomplish the same thing.
I love it. And before you go,
a lot closer by hugging, for sure.
Yes, or hug a tree. If you can't find a person, hug a tree. Okay. Yeah. But I just want to add on to that. I don't know if I told you, I recently moved to Florida, July 3rd. I actually moved here, and last Sunday, which was my son's birthday, was the first time I was able to see my family and give like a real hug to people, right? And I was feeling it. Like I'm used to the hugs, I'm used to the touches. Virtual is cool, but I want to invite anyone, like you said, it doesn't have to it, we all want the love, we all want the feeling. And I've been surrounded lately around people that just don't have any social, emotional intelligence. They're just not loving, they're not caring. And I'm just like, what the what? Like, how can you not want to hug someone? How can you not want to smile or be happy? So if you're watching this and you're hearing us, I want to invite you to hug five. Whew, it's gonna be kind of
Oh,
challenging for me. I make that because I'm like here, like I'm like, why are you hugging me, girl? I don't know who you are. I'll be at the nail salon. You did a great job with my nails. Thank you. Hug.
hug.
Thank you for ringing up my clothes, my food at the grocery store. Hug.
Yeah.
But find five people and hug them. That's a challenge for me today.
Yes, I was just in some leadership training, and literally one of the groups, they did this. They went out and started giving hugs away. And at first, they said they felt really like ridiculous, right? But they said that it was life changing, like really life changing, because people just all of a sudden just started, they were more comfortable after doing it a couple of times, and people really wanted the hugs. One of this, I remember this one woman saying that one guy, and it was a guy and a woman, so you never know, but like he was like really, she didn't feel creeped out, like he was just hugging her like he really needed that hug. And we all need a hug, right? And so I love that challenge. I love it. I love it
Yes,
so much.
and then hug. Okay, here. Okay, we're going deeper with this hug. Now, do you do the rub on the back, like when,
Oh,
or you have the pats on the
I do the
back?
back and
I remember once I saw someone. I don't know if this was. It's probably California. They had a big sign up, free hugs,
yeah.
standing on the corner.
Again,
There,
people might think you're crazy, but it's okay. It's okay.
yes, yes. There was this man in Bermuda. I forget his name, but he would stand on the corner. Bermuda is very small. The island is 22 miles, and there's their highway. It's really not a highway. It's just four roads that cross with a lot of traffic. And
Okay.
he every morning he'd stand there and he would wave. He did this for years, and he would just wave at the people. Good morning. Actually, they say morning, 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 however their accent is. And he
Yeah.
would do that every single. He did it for years until he died, and they actually have a statue up. He passed away, a statue up, and he would just wave to people. And I think, like you said, just being pleasant, just giving out the love. What you want to get, give it out. If you want happiness, if you want love, I made a decision the other day that I'm only gonna spread joy because that's what I want in my life. So just happiness and joy. We're just rambling. All right, girlfriend. Number three, go for it. She's sharing
Okay.
with us
So
today,
number
guys. She's
three.
giving us 3 tips for mamas out there that are go.
So three, I really was all over the place with this third one because I'm like, there's so many I want to say, but I think I want to go with just affirmations. So saying things to yourself that are going to spark you to want to change or to want to be better or just to be that best version of yourself. And sometimes, honestly, like, so I know that sometimes that can seem hard for people if they don't actually feel their affirmations. So there's so many different schools of thoughts on affirmations. But I am in control and I create my own reality was one that I used to love to say to myself, and I still say to myself. You can say things like, I am a good mother. I am a good wife. I am a great friend. I am an amazing, just start saying it until you believe it. When I was in like a really rough place when I was a mom, and this was during COVID, and I had gotten into a place where I was just down. I was depressed. I mean, I never saw anyone for it, but I was definitely depressed. And it took everything in me sometimes to get out of bed. I had 2 little ones to care for, and I would just take myself into the bathroom, look at myself in the mirror, and just say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So when you don't even have it in yourself to say something to yourself, like you can't believe it about yourself, choose a scripture, choose something where I would say it until I believed it. I just keep repeating, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then I would feel like I could go back and be a mother. But, one other tip is like to high five yourself in the mirror. I don't know if anybody follows Mel Robbins. She has the high five habit. But if you look at yourself in the mirror and you literally high five yourself in the mirror, there's something, again, it's that serotonin release. It is that when you high five someone and you're high fiving yourself, it just tricks your brain into thinking you're doing a good job, right? Like, because that's when you high five someone, is when you're doing a good job. And so just little things that you can do to keep yourself in that joyful or in that higher state of being, I think that really will help you to kind of be more joyful in your day, or to just keep going in some instances.
I love it. I love it. Let's recap all three of them. Renee's going to put them on the bottom because she's good like that. She's going to start with number one. Again, if you're just tapping in, I am Stars Tina. This is the Stars Tina Morning Show, 7 a.m. Cup of Motivation. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm also going to be here on Tuesday. So we're probably going to do a few days. So just come through at 7 a.m. We have a special guest today. She's got her podcast, Mama's Redefining Success, and she's giving us 3 tips. Renee's going to put number one. She's going to go through her 3 tips of how you can push through that struggling time as a mama. Go, girlfriend.
Yes. So 1, take time for yourself, even if it's only a small amount of time, or even if you have to work it into your day with your kiddos, but just taking some time for yourself. Number 2, whatever you feel like you're lacking, go give that away, because the law of giving and receiving, it is going to come back to you in some way, shape, or form. And then number 3 was affirmations. Say them to yourself in the mirror every day. Do it while you brush your teeth, like stack it down as a habit, and you will start to see your mindset improve.
Yes, yes. So give us a closing thought before we get out of here. Why should people tune into your podcast? Besides the fact that it's so professional, it's entertaining, it's fun, it's light. I loved it, right? And if they're watching this, give them one reason why they should tune in. And if you had 1 minute, you're standing on the mountaintop.
No, mind.
And yeah, you're on the mountaintop and you have a sea of people in front of you and you have 1 minute to share your thoughts.
Oh,
What
wow.
would it be?
So the reason to tune into the podcast, I would say, for any moms, you are going to, we tell stories on there. We are really relating to you where you are. You're going to get tips to get from where you are to where you want to go, but it's also just going to create this environment, and this community that we're creating with Mama's Redefined Success is really geared to help you not feel alone, and to know that you are worthy of, you're being your own person, of, rediscovering your identity. And gosh, a mountaintop moment. Are you saying what would I'm not exactly sure the question on this one. But if I had a mountaintop moment, my mountaintop moment, honestly, would probably be just talking about giving love away. We all want to be loved, and in this day and age, right now especially, I feel like we all need love more than ever. And really, truly love your neighbor as yourself. Like, treat others the way you would want to be treated. Like, this is all going back to Jesus, right? Like, it is seriously though, everyone needs that, no matter the differences of opinion, the differences in political, religious, whatever it is. There's so many differing opinions, differing lifestyles, even. I would say love your neighbor. And even if you don't agree with them, you can extend them some grace, right? You can extend them just some respect. And that would be my mountaintop moment, is just talking about that.
Yay, yay. Again, I'm so excited to have you on here. I'm loving the back and forth. Now, did I hear you? It's like always hearing, talking in your email about an event or something you're doing?
Oh, yes. So I have a promotion that we're running right now. We're doing lives. We're doing lots of different things just to promote the podcast. So I had this, again, download that I was supposed to grow this podcast, and really that moms need this now more than ever. And this sense of community, this sense of what we're doing. And so we are doing a lot of giveaways. We have a promotion that's running. You can win prizes. So yeah, go to my Instagram, check it out. I'm really excited for it.
I love it. So if you're a mom and, there's all these Facebook groups, and I want to start joining some Facebook groups, whether it's moms with kids, moms with teens, football moms, cheerleading moms, take this link, share it out to them, because that's how we're going to change the world, family and friends, is by sharing, right? Share the link, share this post. If we touched your heart in just a little bit, let someone know. Maybe you know someone who's going through something and I found that people sometimes don't hear you, but they'll hear other people. They may relate to me. They may resonate with Danielle, so just share it out. Let's share the world. We got this rock here and let's throw it.
Yes.
All righty. Thank you for coming through, Mama. And I can't wait to talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So family and friends, Renee's going to pop her out and I'm going to close this out right here. Thank you again for rolling through. As we come to a close of today's show, I am just so grateful and so honored that God has come into my life so deeply. Yesterday, I had the opportunity of meeting this amazing woman named Latanya, and we were talking about church, pastors, life, all sorts of things. And we were talking about different pastors and different ministers, and she was talking about a whale. And she said, Tina, whales live in the ocean, right? But they have to come up for air in order to breathe. If they don't come up, then they'll die. And I never really knew that. And then she related that to us as humans. And she says, we're here on Earth, right? But we're on the earth, but we're not of the earth. And listening to Danielle just now, and she's talking about Jesus, and it's just like, I'm so grateful that God is just aligning me with people that are on the same path as I am. And when I say the same path, I mean that are focused on changing the world, that are God sent, right? And I just feel like when you surround yourself with people like this, they're like fences. That song, Jesus Built a Fence Around Me, and I believe that is my fence that's around me. It's all these supportive moms and dads and uncles and friends and all that sort of stuff. So I want to invite you to just be still and just breathe. On this Motivational Monday, you see that link on Danielle's link there. Somewhere on here, we're going to put the No More Traumedy event because September 22nd is coming soon. I think we're like 6 weeks away officially from our event in New Jersey. It is a health and wellness expo focused just for kids. Traumedy No More for Kids is a movement, all right? If you're watching this, today I am finishing the course. So I'm going to have three things available. First is our book, Traumedy No More for Kids. This is a book that's going to teach children how to tap into their feelings of anxiety, stress, and depression, and how to push through them. The book gives them activities they can do, like making slime, like breath work. That's the first thing. The second thing is our event, is the course that's me going to actual schools, my team going to actual schools. I did this earlier this year where I went to a couple of schools and I taught the children those things, but we're expanding it to other organizations. So if you have an organization, a school, a cheerleading team, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, doesn't matter. Tap into me and you can actually get the course and do it yourself, right? You don't have to have me. Each one reach one to teach one. And I can't reach every person. So this course you can actually get and follow the tools, right? It's just like if you're teaching a class, for example, Les Mills Body Pump. I love Body Pump. I take a class today, but it's like you take the course, you study it, and then you teach it to others, right? That's what you can do with this Traumedy No More for Kids. And I'm looking for coaches. I'm looking for people that want to change the world so that they can share this. And then the third thing, like I said, is the second one is the course, and the third one is getting me and my tribe out to your team. So this event's going to be amazing. It's going to be 23 activities that are going to be so much fun. It's Rahway, New Jersey. It's absolutely free, from the food trucks to the DJ to the gaming truck to all the activities, the vendors. It's going to be a blast. It's a back to school health and wellness expo. Rahway, New Jersey. We're going to have between 300 to 500 people there. Yes, I said that, 300 to 500. I'm putting it out there. I want you to get your trucks. I want you to get your buses. If you're in Union, if you're in Newark, if you're in Irvington, and you're watching this, if you're in Livingston, I don't care where you are. Bring some kids with you to this event, and we have so many giveaways. We do have some gift bags. Gift bags are only going to be for the first, I'm going to leave it at 100, 120, okay? 100. That's it. 100 gift bags that I and my team will be giving away, which our sponsors have supplied. And then the different vendors are giving away things as well. Like I know some vendors are giving out book bags. We have one girl, she's going to be giving out Sephora goodies. You know I'm going to that table, right? I'll be dressed up like a little kid, like Martin. And remember, he was dressed up like a little kid with the snot. Anyway, there's going to be different giveaways. We're also going to have two cool things. So when you go to each station, you're going to stamp a card. And when you stamp this card at the end, whoever has the most cards, we're going to put them in a bag and we're going to do a raffle, and we're going to be giving out gift cards to Dunkin' Donuts, gift cards to different businesses in Rahway, like Malau Coffee Shop, like the Juice Hub, like all these things. And then we're going to have this full, I don't know why I said full, this fun game where it's going to be 4 teams. I'm Team Red. Woo, woo. And on Team Red, we're going to be competing against the other 3 teams, and it's going to be like an obstacle course. So we may do our potato sack race first, and then it's 3-legged race, and then eating a pie. And then the team that wins, they're going to get a pool prize. And then it's going to be so much fun. So tap in September 22nd. Link is right there. Actually, it's everywhere. You can find me. I am Stars Tina, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. Thank you all for rolling through. Tomorrow, I will be coming through interviewing some of the vendors or sponsors. It'll be a surprise. So I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Bye. See ya.